Hey guys, let's get more news from Miami Heat, but first, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. Tyler Herro knows fans will freak out if Heat lose to Spurs before trade deadline. Miami Heat star guard Tyler Herro poked fun at the fanbase after the team's win to the Orlando Magic when asked if the team is in the midst of a breakthrough. With the second game of the back-to-back being Wednesday against the San Antonio Spurs, one day before the NBA trade deadline, he said that he's not sure yet since if they lose, fans are going to think this is the end of the world. I mean, we'll see, Herro responded when asked if Miami is turning a corner. We have another one tomorrow and if we lose, the whole organization and fans are going to think this is the end of the world, so we're going to take it one day at a time and see what happens tomorrow. There is no doubt that if the Heat lost to the Spurs who have only won 10 games so far this season, then there definitely would be outrage from the fans even if the season is far from over. Still though, Miami shouldn't just overlook San Antonio, especially since they have an all-time great head coach in Greg Popovich and rookie sensation Victor Wembanyama. Joining Herro in the starting backcourt is newcomer Terry Rozier, who is Miami's one big move before the trade deadline. He said after the win to the Magic Tuesday night that it is tough to win every night and they don't look at the wins or losses on the other team, so they will take on the Spurs with the same preparation as any other team. It is tough to win every night, so we're not looking at the wins or losses on the other team, Rozier said. You know, it's a job to do, and we have to come out on top. Wednesday night against San Antonio could serve as a get-right contest for the Heat as they look to close the four-game home standoff on a great note. However, the final game will be Sunday afternoon against the Boston Celtics as Miami is 27-24 on the season, which puts them 7th in the Eastern Conference. Heat's Jimmy Butler gets 100% real on pass-first mentality. Tuesday night was a great outing for the Miami Heat as they played a complete game on both sides of the ball, propelling them to beat the Orlando Magic to win the regular season series, 3-1. After the game, star Jimmy Butler and head coach Erik Spoelstra spoke after the game about the former's new look in the Heat's rotation. Butler has always been known as an all-around player that can be an aggressive scorer, but that can also pass the ball and be a facilitator to the team. He was that and more as with a fully healthy lineup for Miami. Spoelstra opted for Butler to work with the reserves and the second unit more and basically be the point guard for that group. He would end the night with a team-high 23 points while collecting 8 rebounds and record 8 assists. Normally, Butler would start the game and play half of the period before taking a breather and waiting for the next quarter. This time around, Spoelstra took him out and brought him back in shortly after to work with the reserves, as said before. Butler said after the game that I definitely deem myself a pass-first player. I normally play the same way. I definitely deem myself a pass-first player, Butler said. I love to try to get my teammates involved, help them to be as successful as they can. Had a few turnovers trying to do that. But at the same time, giving the guys the ball. This slight change of plans wasn't a spur-of-the-moment decision as Butler revealed to the media that this was talked about and everybody was ready for it to happen. In fact, the 34-year-old star said that it looks good and they will use this plan more often. We talked about it. So I think everybody was ready for what was about to happen. I like it, Butler said. I think it makes everybody more comfortable. And maybe the ball moves a little bit more with different guys in that lineup. I don't think that's a problem as long as you win. So we did that, looks good, and I bet that is what we're going to go to from now on. Report, Miami Heat will explore Caleb Martin trade market. Per a recent report, the Miami Heat will explore the possibility of dealing Caleb Martin with the February 8 trade deadline, just a few days away. All I've heard is that they're going to try and find a location, Matt Moore said. They'll explore the market for him. The key here is, and I got banged up a little bit on a report a couple of weeks ago with the New Orleans Pelicans where it's important to establish the distinction between shopping and exploring the market. And the distinction there is that, if you're shopping a guy, you're actively like, I would like for this player to not be on my roster by the end of the year. Whether it's for contract or positional, there's a lot of reasons for that. But, you are actively like, my preference would be otherwise. Exploring the market is like, let's take a look and see what the options are here because the money is going to be significant. I would say that there is a sense from other teams that have talked to Miami that shedding salary seems to be a larger priority than maybe they originally thought, that maybe that this team is looking to trim up things pretty significantly. The forward showed out on a big stage against the Boston Celtics in the 2023 Eastern Conference Finals. Across 7 appearances with the Heat during that series, he 19.3 points per game on great efficiency, considering he shot 60.2% from the field. He arguably saved his best basketball of the series for the deciding Game 7, when he dropped 26 points in 45 minutes of action. Fast forward to the current day, and Martin has appeared in 33 of the Heat's 50 games so far in the 2023-24 regular season. He is averaging 10.2 points, 4.6 rebounds, and 2.2 assists per game on 44.6% shooting from the field and 36.6% from deep in his third season in Miami. The 28-year-old produced in 31 minutes of playing time off the Miami bench in the team's loss to the Los Angeles Clippers on February 4. Martin dropped 11 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1 steal on 5 of 9 shooting from the floor and 0 of 2 from three-point range. Miami's loss to the Clippers marked its first loss of the last 3 games. Before falling to the Clippers, the Heat earned victories over the Sacramento Kings and Washington Wizards. The Heat will aim to earn their third victory of their past 4 games when they play the Orlando Magic at home on Tuesday night. The Magic have been playing productive basketball lately, as the team is riding a 3-game winning streak and is only a couple days removed from a win over the Minnesota Timberwolves, who are in a tie with the Oklahoma City Thunder for the best record in the Western Conference at the moment. While Martin hasn't proved that he can sustain his play from the 2023 Eastern Conference Finals, he is a valuable role player for the Heat who impacts both sides of the ball. Therefore, it's debatable as to whether the Heat should trade him prior to the trade deadline. And you fan, what do you think of the Caleb Martin situation? Leave your opinion in the comments.